Matrix to Marvel, even Star Wars. She's been part of some of the most beloved worlds in pop culture. Please welcome the one and only Carrie-Anne Moss.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
How's your experience been so far?
A whirlwind and windy out there.
It's an extreme pleasure to have you here. We're super excited to have you here with us to geek out, nerd out, and do a little bit of everything.
Thank you.
You've had, such a diverse career. I mean, so many genres and generations of fans. I want to know, when you look back at your early years, what originally drew you to storytelling, through film and performance?
I think watching a lot of TV and watching a lot of movies, I always felt like since I was a little kid that I wanted to be a part of that experience, to be part of storytelling. I loved watching movies, I loved going to the movies, I loved watching TV. And I thought, I want to do that.
Was there a certain show or film that really clicked for you, or just really inspired you, or even as a kid, just something you wanted to rewatch every time?
I think when I was a kid, there was a lot of TV, right? Like, I watched a lot of television, but I don't know if there was one particular thing that made me think, oh, I want to do that. It was just a process, for sure.
Looking how your career has evolved from indie thrillers to sci-fi blockbusters. We got the Star Wars users, we got everything under the umbrella there. Do you feel your choices were guided more by instinct, or did you always have a sense where you wanted to go next? What type of genre you wanted to hit up?
Well, I mean, when you're an actor, right, you get an audition, and you go in and you audition for the role, and you cross your fingers and you hope that you get it. And especially in the beginning of your career, obviously. So I was always kind of surprised that the sci-fi world really embraced me, and I was definitely very honored by that. And so I think, obviously now that I'm more experienced and I've been working for, so many years, it's different than in the beginning where you're just really hoping to find a niche for yourself as an actor. And I think the sci-fi world has been just super generous with me and has liked me, so I feel lucky.
I don't think it's just the sci-fi world, I think it's just the world in general. That's a big fan of you, right? There we go. I do want to rewind a little bit to this film called Memento. I call it the rise of Christopher Nolan with that film. Unlike anything audiences had seen at the time. So looking back at Nolan's process on set, was there any time that you thought this guy's gonna be one of the most influential directors of our time?
I don't think you really think like that when you're in it. I knew he was incredibly talented. He was so poised, and he has this incredible, calm, very elegant way of being on a set, and I enjoyed that, and I had no doubt he was going to be huge, but who knew that you could be that huge, like he has become. Yeah, I'm so happy for him. He deserves it. He's really talented.
Yeah, a great film, and he keeps going stronger and stronger every film he does. You have been part of such great adventures in film, and obviously we're here to talk about.
Are you getting all this?
Oh, I'm getting all this, but I love it. The air? Are you talking about the air here?
I feel like in the Arctic.
We're in the typhoon here. See, I love this, so I apologize. Maybe I requested it.
Now I'm freezing. Jeez, I should have brought some cashmere or some wool.
Well, you saw how bad it was outside, so
Yeah.
This is nice. But obviously, the little big film called The Matrix. But the funny thing is, I think, is you appeared on a TV show with the same name. So when this project came, where you're like, what is this? Is this a continuation of what I did before?
Yeah, you know, there's these things in life where it's like such a crazy coincidence. And I did this series called The Matrix, which is about alternative realities as well. I didn't really understand what they were talking about. Obviously then The Matrix came around and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Of course, I never imagined that I was going to get the role of Trinity because I just assumed it would go to a big movie star. So, yeah, I mean, what's the likelihood that an actor would do two things called The Matrix? I mean, crazy. And I remember I got a gift from the directors after the first Matrix, and it's this really cool piece of art that I have in my basement. It's got pictures of sort of the journey of Trinity, and on the back, both of them wrote something, you know, to me, personal. And one of them wrote that when they saw on my resume that I had done a show called The Matrix, it made them go, huh. So, you know, you never know those little things that just make someone, you know, I don't know, that somehow gave it like a little beep, you know what I mean? Like a little frequency.
Or are you thinking maybe this is fate?
Yeah.
There is no spoon.
There is no spoon. That's right.
What was like the audition or casting process like? You went through a lot of training just for this role, and did they tell you how much like physicality goes to the role of Trinity?
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand, like, auditioning for something of this magnitude, like, I had never done it before, so like, as I was going through it, I was just, you know, getting one audition, and then, oh, we want you to come in and read for the directors, and then you're like, read for the directors, and then, you know, a few days later you go, oh, they want you to come in and do an action day, like 3 hours of action. I was like, oh, okay, did that, then it's, hey, they want you to come back and read again for the directors. And at this point, I had done that 3 hours of the action with the martial art team. I literally could not walk. I'm not even kidding. And I remember I'm doing the scene and I'm sitting down. I think I'm doing that scene from the nightclub, you know, Neo, and, you know that one. I can't even remember. and I'm sitting there, and one of the directors asks me, he says, you know, I think you should stand up. And I was like, I can't. and then a few days later, it was, we want you to come in and read with Keanu. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it's sort of this process that just keeps folding, and it goes on forever. And you just, every time you get a little closer, you're like, even if I never get this is like the highlight of my life. And then they tell you, okay, you have to sign your contract before at the last audition, you know? So that like if you get the job, you're not gonna say I want $1 gazillion, right? They have to put all that in writing. And then they say, okay, we're gonna have you for a week, you get to decide. And so the week ends and they say, we need another week. Right? So you can imagine, right? Like, by the time I got it, I actually kind of forgot. Because I just assumed, you know, this was a great experience, like, oh my gosh, this has changed me, this is so exciting, and, you know, thank you, universe, thank you, God, for this experience, and I probably won't get it. And then I got it, and yeah, it just changed life completely.
Oh, that's amazing. When you signed on, was it just for? No fear in applauding. Applaud anytime you like. When you first signed on, was it just for the single film? Did they tell you that's going to, you know, more to come? Or
I think when you like the way the contracts worked then, I don't know how it works anymore, but I think that they signed me for 3, like just in case, you know what I mean? But it wasn't never discussed that we were going to do more. Like it never even crossed my mind. Yeah.
Do you remember the first, like the actual first day of filming on set, walking on and then seeing the sets and some of the actors and?
Oh my God, I can't remember. That's crazy. How could I not remember? No. But I remember like training. That's sort of the most visceral memory that I have was, Lawrence and Keanu and Hugo Weaving with this incredible martial arts team with Wo Ping and all the guys. We would just train like Monday through Friday from like 9 till 5 every day. And it was so fun.
So you fell in love with training.
Yeah, I loved it. You get to know actors really well. That's how you start to develop that camaraderie and that relationship. And you're working hard. You all kind of we all had the same, end result that we wanted to accomplish. And we're all going through our hard bits together. Lawrence is doing his fight with his guy over there, and there's Keanu over there, and there's me. And we're all cheering each other on, right? And inspiring each other and having coffee breaks together. You know what I mean? It was just super special.
On those coffee breaks, what was it, like decompressing, goofing around, or were y'all kind of just taking a break?
Yeah, really needing a break. You're just like, oh, thank God I had a break. Just laughing and never imagining that it would look like what it looked like in the end. I think until I saw it in person, saw it in the movie, I just had no idea that it would be like that cool, like the shots and the way that they shot it and the way that they lit it and all the colors and all the little intricate things that all departments put into the making of that. Like when you're an actor on stage, you don't necessarily, on the set, you don't necessarily see all that, right? Because I'm not looking behind me at like the shot, right? And you see just the way they put me or Keanu or Lawrence, whatever, in the shot. Like it's just so beautiful and rich, and it's such an incredible work of art, I think.
Y'all filmed the sequels back to back, right?
Yeah, so we did the first one, then we had a bit of a break, and then we did both the second and third together. Yeah, it took like a year.
Was training more vigorous for that round because, maybe some more endurance needed to do that?
So that's like, I decided that I was going to be in like epic shape to start because, I had to work out. We all worked out to get in shape. So like I showed up in shape. And in the first week, I break my leg. And it's funny, I read sometimes, I'd love to put this straight, I read sometimes people saying, I don't know if it's online or whatever, that I broke my leg and I was afraid I was going to be replaced. I never thought I was going to be replaced. I had months to train. So anyway, I just always think that's funny because I wasn't worried that I was going to be replaced. I just didn't want to hold up production, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be a nuisance to anyone, but I still went to training with the broken leg, and I broke the leg on the wire. So I'm on the wire, and the guys kind of dropped me, They didn't really drop me, but it was like, I landed too hard and they kind of, they pulled the wire, and it was just this combination of them like dropping me too hard and me landing too hard, and I heard my leg break and I was like, oh no. But thank God I was in shape. Right? So that was good. I healed quickly. It takes 6 weeks to heal a broken bone, as everybody probably knows, but that is true.
Was there a favorite stunt you like doing every time they put you on those wires, something that you enjoy doing, give you an adrenaline rush?
No, I didn't have an adrenaline rush. No, because you're like so focused and you want to do it so well. That was one thing I always really wanted to do it so well for the directors, because I love them so much, and I was so grateful and so honored to play her for them. And so you just want to do it so well. So I was thinking about the motorcycle, you know, I think that's in the second Matrix when I'm on the motorcycle with the actor on the back, and that was really mentally challenging. To ride that motorcycle without a helmet, without a helmet. I'm not a motorcycle rider. And the trucks are coming by, and you know, you feel that breeze, and you feel that like, right? Like almost like you could just fly right off of it, and you're like steel. Like mentally, I remember thinking mentally, like I cannot entertain one moment of thinking I can't do this. So for day after day after day, I was like that, you know what I mean? Because I have someone's life, not only my life, but someone else's life. And when they said, okay, we're done, I was like, oh my God. That was a lot. I was like mentally a lot. Yeah, crazy. Can't believe they let me do that.
Can you emphasize a little bit the importance of the stunt team and you know how serious they take their work to ensure all the safety, but also pulling off some crazy things that never been seen before?
Yeah, I mean those guys are unbelievable, and I will never fully understand it. Like you know the scene. It's in the first movie where Bianca and I we walk in through the metal detectors, and you know that whole thing. I remember like. We were doing it, and it was the first time I ever understood that like, you got one take, and then it's hours to reset it. And it's not only like me hitting my mark, but it's the action, it's our guys hitting their mark. It's the squibs going off at the right time. It's so many people, the camera guy catching it. And if one of us is off, it's so much time to redo it and so much money to redo it. Like the pressure of that, which they protect the actors from feeling that pressure. At least we were protected. But at the end, I really got that. I was like, wow, like that was intense and fun. Like to me, that scene is like my favorite scene. I love it.
Yeah, the stunt team are really important to film, forever, and to make sure that you can pull off these amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're sometimes overlooked, I feel like.
Oh yeah, they make you as an actor look so great. Especially for me, I always got to fight stunt guys, which makes you really good because they make you look better because they can take the hits. And I hit a couple of them and they don't get mad at you. You can't hit an actor, you know what I mean? The stunt guys don't mind. They love it when you hit them by accident.
With your character Trinity, was there part of her personality that you connected with the most?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think of Trinity as a person having a personality, really. It's not that she doesn't have a personality, she's just so beyond personality. She's so still and fierce and steel. That was one of the things that the directors would say to me, steel. If I was maybe not grounded enough, I could just hear that word and know kind of what I needed to anchor into, if that makes sense. It's hard to remember. I mean, it was, how many years ago?
Long time ago.
It's a long time ago. And yet it feels like yesterday. It's kind of weird. It feels like yesterday, and yet it feels like a million years ago, too, at the same time.
Did you enjoy that they asked you to come back to do the voiceover work stuff when they continued with the anime and then some of the video games and stuff like that? Were you excited to kind of return in that aspect too, to continue the story?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did that all at the same time. I don't remember shooting that separately. I feel like we kind of did all of that while shooting. So you're not even really aware of what that's going to look like, right? I just didn't know.
When you got the call then that the fourth film was happening, how surprising was that?
Totally a shock. Yeah, I never saw that coming. And other people would say to me like, "Oh, I hear there's another Matrix coming," and I'd be like, "No, I like died," you know. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was very excited. I mean, got to train again with Keanu, and I that's one of my highlights of my career. I think is my time with him training. We have so much fun. We're such good partners in that way, so it was really nice.
Seems like y'all bring the best out of each other when it comes to training and really
Yeah.
push each other to the edge. And
Yeah, he's so professional and like he trains and works harder than anyone I've ever met. And just every day I would be like, "Oh, he's working so hard. I have to work even harder." Like, oh, we're older now. Bring it down a notch. And he's like, no. He's unbelievable. He's so dedicated. Just you'd see him and he'd be so tired and sweating and he'd just keep going and going. I mean, he deserves all of that success and love that he gets from people. Yeah.
yeah, indeed, he's a lovely person, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't be afraid to clap. We're here to allow the clapping. Did it feel like revisiting an old friend, when you did the fourth film, or just kind of like a completely new chapter for that Matrix?
I think a little bit of both. It was like going back, what was very similar was the feeling of doing things that were so difficult and you thought impossible, and yet you were going to do it, and that's something that I've never experienced except with The Matrix. So like Lana had this vision that we were going to jump off that building, and a lot of people did not want us jumping off that building. Like a lot of people. Like it didn't look like we were going to do it. And we trained, and I didn't know if I could do it. I mean, I knew I wanted to. I knew I wanted to, rise to the challenge. But my husband, I remember us having breakfast one morning. He's like, "You're not actually going to do this, are you?" Like, I'm terrified of heights. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it." And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I would sit in my hotel room every morning and every night in the dark, visualizing myself doing that for hours, just mentally seeing myself do that. Because I thought, before I got into the mind, the way that my mind needed to think about it, I thought, I'll faint. Like as I do it, I'll be fainting on the wire. But yeah, that was really cool.
Was there something you learned about yourself while doing all these crazy stunts, and you pushed yourself to the edge when it comes to
Everything.
Everything?
I mean, you learn everything about yourself. You can't do stuff like that and be the same person at the end. Like, it just brings. It's so difficult to explain, but I mean, we've all experienced things that we've had to really push ourselves to do. But yeah, I think it grew me for sure.
Yeah, impressive as Trinity, right? Took us to new heights and really showing us what it is to be a badass. That's for sure. I want to talk about joining that Marvel universe. Yeah. When they asked you to join this world they were building for television and bringing, Jerry Hogarth to life, what did you find most compelling about her and that character when they offered that to you?
Oh my gosh. She was so much fun to play. Like, it's so interesting, right? We're just like in the Matrix, and I'm like, can feel it, see it, smell it, taste it, and now I'm over here in Jerry Hogarth and the Marvel world, and Jessica Jones, and Kristen Ritter, and Ika Darville, and I, as an actress, playing her was just fun. I mean, she's so bad,
Oh yeah.
She's so ruthless and so manipulative, and I am none of those things. So to get to play that is just incredibly fun. I couldn't take her too far, you know, like, that was really quite a freeing experience, and yeah, I loved it. I was sad to see that end. Like, you know, most of the time when a job's over, I'm kind of like ready to like put the clothes away and like put the character away, grow my hair, you know what I mean? But I was sad to see that show end, for sure.
Well, you appeared like in multiple Marvel projects, kind of connecting them, you know, all those corners of that universe. Did it feel special, you know, connecting the threads between some shows?
Yeah, that was really fun. I love just like showing up in like another, you know, like Iron Fist and Daredevil, and that's really neat.
So would you be open to revisiting Jerry if that phone call came?
I would love to do that. I mean, I just loved her. I loved playing her.
I think the call will come. I will put that out there. I think that call will come. Right? Marvel will be calling back. From the Matrix to the Marvel, then you jump into Star Wars. What's going on? This is amazing that you're jumping in through all these. Does it surprise you to this day being part of all these great worlds?
Yeah, it's so surreal, and yet it all just has made sense as I've gone along. I mean, I've told this story before, but my family, my kids, my husband were really into all the Star Wars shows. And I was walking, like, you kind of have to, in my house, like where we watch TV, you kind of got to walk through it to get like to the kitchen and to get upstairs. And so I was like with a laundry basket, taking clothes up, and they're watching their show, and my husband yells, "You should be on one of these Star Wars shows." And literally the next day I got offered that job. Can you imagine? I was like, oh, really? Kind of like looking at it, you know, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I watched Star Wars as a kid, but like, you know, I hadn't been watching all the new shows, so that was really thrilling. My family was so happy. That was the one job where my kids were like, Mom!
How much do they tell you about your character, Dara, and then her rich backstory? How much do they tell you going into it?
I mean, they tell a lot about, a lot. Like, a lot of the backstory was written, they gave me that, and then also a lot of, like, Star Wars education. Yeah. And then my kids gave me a lot of education. And when I got it wrong, I really heard about it. And I did get it wrong.
Did you get to pick out your lightsaber?
Did I what?
Get to pick out your lightsaber?
No.
No, they just had it ready for you?
But I think they gave me a lighter one because it really hurts the shoulders. You don't really think like that, like literally going home at night. I mean, I'm older too, you know? It's like, oh, I think my neck and my shoulders were out for like 6 months after doing the lightsaber. My brim was out, you know what I mean? I mean, it's real.
Was that training more vigorous than the Matrix?
Oh, no.
What type of training went into this?
No, my body just hurt more than when I was 30.
Well, is there like a lightsaber school?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on the lightsaber, but again, like they will not let you do it for too long in the beginning because you can really hurt yourself. I mean, it's just that repetitive motion, and they start with it really light because you get into it. It's kind of fun, you know? And then I would go home to my hotel room with like a broom and just practice it like all night because I really wanted that to be cool. I was like, if that is not cool, I am going to be so upset. I told the director, if this is not cool, I will never talk to you again.
Can you talk about the first day walking onto that set, walking onto a Star Wars set? What's like the first thing your eyes went to?
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, obviously the costumes are amazing, but also I started with that fight that I have at the beginning. That was my first week of work, was doing that fight. Which again is like kind of a short amount of time to do something like that. Like on The Matrix, that takes a lot longer. Because TV has a very different schedule than films, right? You're just doing so many more pages per day on a TV show than you are on a movie. But yeah, the sets were incredible. When I, in the bar scene with all the characters, like, I just was looking at, I was so blown away by all the different characters and the things they built, the characters they built, and they're animating, and I mean, it was really like, whoa, true artistry. It was really amazing.
Looking back across all these universes, what's one lesson you've carried with you from each of them in your career?
Don't trust Cypher.
I know, right? Give me a steak. An actor. What's a lesson I've learned? Is that what you said?
Looking back at all these universes, what's one lesson you've carried with you from each era of your career?
Well, I mean, I'm one of those people who chooses to look at life in a way that I want to learn from all of my experiences, right? I intentionally look at things I've done well, things I haven't done well, things I've been challenged with, and I try to always grow by having that self-awareness, right? To look at my life that way. So being an actor really gives you an opportunity to do that. If you're grounded enough, not too in your ego and not too judgmental about yourself, because it is also difficult to see yourself on screen like that. And I think I've been able to, I think because of playing Trinity and the confidence that character gave me going through playing her, that I've been able to watch my career and learn a lot. And I could never sum it up in one thing. I trust my path. That's something I've always trusted. Like, if a job has my name on it, then it's mine, and if it has somebody else's name on it, it's theirs. So I never had that competitive feeling. I never had that desperate feeling like I gotta get a job. Like, I never felt that way. I was like, if I'm meant to play this character, I'll get it. If I do the work and I show up. I had an acting coach that would say that success is when opportunity meets preparation. So I would always be like, okay, I'm gonna be prepared, but I'm gonna let it go. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I gotta have this. Like, no, because I remember I did a job before The Matrix. I was on a TV show called FX. And that was a really fun show, and I did a couple seasons, and then the third season, they sent me a fax saying that I wasn't gonna be in the next season. I was horrified. I was like, what do you mean? What? And I was so upset, it hurt my feelings. It's just part of the business. It happens to everybody. It's not personal, they're going a different direction. But I remember being really heartbroken about it, like really heartbroken. I felt like embarrassed, you know what I mean? All these feelings that you can have when you feel rejected or like, you're not good enough or something. If I had done that show, that season, I would never have been available for The Matrix. So it was such a blessing, and I learned that through that hard experience of feeling disappointed, that the world opened up to me through that rejection. I always say rejection is God's protection. I say it to my kids all the time, like, trust your path. If a door shuts, give it a cry, be bummed out, but know that something greater is coming. And when you can believe that, then you actually have different energy, right? Like, if you're going through life going, I suck, because you can't see that your path is unique and you're being guided by things you might not be able to see, right? So yeah.
Yeah, that's some great words right there. I want to end on this note. So when you meet your fans who discovered you completely, completely different corners of pop culture, what does it mean to you that your work continues to inspire across generations and genres?
Oh, it's so moving. Like, I love to do these shows because I don't get an opportunity to see people who love what I do, right? Like, or love things I've done, or have been moved by things I've done, or have been moved by whatever, you know what I mean? Like I'm in my life doing the laundry, going to the grocery store. You know, my grocery guy doesn't really care anymore. Like maybe the first time he met me, he thought it was kind of cool. Now he doesn't care, right? So it's almost like remembering a part of my life, and it's cool. And it's like I'm so honored, you know. Very cool.
Well, Carrie, we want to thank you for coming to SpaceCon. We want to see you back again, hopefully. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for coming out.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.